Today I'm going to try something I've been experimenting around with for the last couple of months. I saw Tim Yoder's video that he did. He did a Lichtenberg or a Lichtenberg fractal wood burning on this holoform that he had made, and really just amazed me to watch. He turned the vase, and then he took this vase or holoform to a place, and they did the fractal burning on it. And I thought, man, that was really cool. So I went and got the stuff to make one for myself, and this is kind of what I've been doing with it. This is just one of my little experimental pieces, and it's really neat how that works. It just burns in with electricity, and you get these really fine lines like tree. I don't know. It's just really fine lines. But anyway, I got to experimenting with that, and it's really cool. It's very dangerous. You have to stay grounded. You can't touch the electrodes or anything like that. It's kind of like a taser. It's high voltage, low amperage, but that low amperage, it can actually kill you. So, I'm not going to show how I built mine or how I built mine. I'm just going to show you how I did the fractal burning and today. And there's plenty of videos, and I'll try to leave links to people who know how to safely make these things and all of that. Of course, I followed their rules when I made mine. But anyway, I'll leave a link to some of those for you in case you want to know how to make one. But it's basically it's a microwave transformer or a neon transformer. And the microwave transformers burn a little bit faster, but the neon transformers give a little more fine detail, and they don't burn as deeply. But okay, anyway, I've got this piece of poplar chuck on my lathe right now. I've just got it on the wormwood screw. I'm going to turn it down into a natural edge bowl, and then I'm going to do some Lichtenberg fractal wood burning on it to see if I can add some kind of enhancements to this bowl with that. So let's give that a shot. Let's get this thing going. Well, getting started. Just going to start roughing it out, and I'm just using my 5/8 bowl gouge here, truing up the bottom. I'm getting ready to form my tenon. I always try to get the bottom trued up first. It just makes everything easier. If you notice, my lathe's not shaking. Most of all the shaking that was happening in my earlier videos was from my tripod sitting on the floor. I'm using my gantry that I built right now. But I'm forming my tenon. It's about 2 1/4 inches diameter. It's a good diameter for my stronghold jaws. My number 2 jaw set for my stronghold chuck. Just get a good shape with my bowl gouge, then I just come in and refine the shoulder and the tenon 90 degrees to each other with a skew. I just use it as a scraper to true everything up. And then I just start, continuing on roughing out this bowl. I'm making push cuts up from the bottom, except up once I get up to the bark. I generally like to come down with the bark just simply because as you're going up, if you're not really careful, you can just blow the bark right off of it. But the bark ended up coming off of this one anyway, so it ended up not mattering. But if you notice, I'm making downhill cuts right here
and that's just simply to try to help me keep the bark on. I didn't use CA around the bark just simply because I'm going to be doing the Lichtenberg wood burning, and I didn't know what reaction it may have with the super glue, so I didn't use it, and I thought the bark would stay on there. Still just coming down, still just roughing. Alright, I'm roughly the shape that I want now, so I'm going to move it into a more of a shearing cut here, more of a pull shearing cut, and just more or less finishing up the shaping that I want. Getting it nice and round. And then it's on with some shear scraping, just to smooth up the sides. Blends everything together really nice. A good shear scrape will. And I'll keep scraping until it's just the way I want it. I have a little bit of tear out. I'm just going to scrape till it's gone. Touch up this tenor. Now let's get this thing remounted, turned around. It didn't take long before that bark came off, so I just decided to go ahead and tear all the bark off once it did. Working from the center out. I'm going to drill my hole out with my drill bit. It's just got a handle on it. I get my depth, and then I just run it in and run it into that depth. That drill bit will only go through the center. It won't go out the side or anything like that. Some people think it can, but it can't. With the piece rotating around the drill bit has no choice but to go dead straight down the center. Okay, now I'm working in the barked up areas. I've come out and kind of marked the outside near my finished thickness, and I'm going to work out to that first, trying to get down through the barked area out to that. There went the bark. I tried to find where it went and stuff like that, but there was so much missing, it was all over the shop. I knew I would never find it all, so I just started trying to tear it all off, and that didn't work either. Some of it was still too strong, but that's okay. As I get it thinner, it'll fall off. Alright, I'll be able to take it off then. Alright, back working from the center. I'm just going to work my way back out to the outside edge. Just making roughing cuts. With a really sharp tool, you can remove a lot of material, but if your tool starts to get dull, make sure you don't start forcing it, or this piece can come off your lathe. As long as your tools are sharp, you can generally remove a good bit of material rather quickly. But if you find yourself having to push your tool with pretty good force, then you better go sharpen it. Okay, now we're getting close to the final thickness, and I'm just watching the ghost image, which is, well, let's get this bark off here first. As this thing's spinning around, I can see the tip of my tool through the bark, through that area right there. And I just keep my tool going parallel with the outside edge. And I can see it. And then just keep on going down until I get the thickness that I want. And then I'll start trying to refine these wings on the side and scrape them down good. Remove all the tool marks. Tool marks on a natural edge bowl are extremely hard to get out by sanding. It's very hard to get them out. If you can get them out by scraping, that's the best way to go. Alright. Now my wings are good and a nice consistent thickness all the way. Now I'll work my way on down into the bottom. Get my depth right. And just follow my profile all the way out and match it up with the sides where I came down from the wings. And you just want to blend that together really nice. Make sure you don't leave marks there in the around the inside edge there. And then I just go to my round nose scraper and just start scraping it all. Nice and smooth. And you want to do this until you've got all your tool marks gone. And it's a nice clean cut on the inside. And then we'll just start sanding. And I use a power sander to start with. This is 80 grit. And I'm just hitting any rough spots that I may still have, and I'll hand sand all the rest. I took this one up to about 220 grit before I did the burning on it. That way I had a good base, a good smooth surface to do my burning. Just remember, go back and sand with a grain. Alright, let's go do some burning. Get these fuzzies off here. Yeah, gotta do a little sanding first. And this is the way I sand. I sand the inside, sand the outside, and I stop the lathe and sand with the grain. And like I say, I did this up to 220 grit. Now we're starting our light Lichtenberg, and this is just, you got two electrodes coming from your transformer, and as they touch the wood, you use an electrolyte mixture to wipe down your piece with, and that helps the electricity conduct. And it just moves, you know, this piece, it moves very slowly. I don't know if it was because of the shape or not, but it was also burning very deep also. The slower it goes, the deeper it burns, it seems like. But it's you can see on the side here, it makes really interesting designs and details. And then once I got the outside done, I just moved it on into the inside. And you can move the electrodes around to get different effects, or you know, start burning in an area where you know you don't have burns, things like that. And that's pretty much it. But you have to be very safe with it, because because you can get hurt really bad with this stuff. That's why I'm not giving an in-depth, detailed review on that. I'll let you do your own research on that. Now we're just getting ready to, we're shaping up the bottom and getting that tenon off of there. And this bowl will be just about done. All I'm going to do is 2 coats of tung oil on this piece. I don't want it to be shiny. I want people to be able to look at it and see the burns and the detail in the burns. And we're making really light cuts because I'm using a jam chuck with cabinet liner over it right here, and really light cuts because it's just a friction device, or a friction drive, whatever you want to call it. But I'll shape up the bottom first, and then I'll come back with my skew, and I'll take that nub off. There's the skew. I'll scrape it down a little bit, down the sides, and across the bottom. Just smooth everything up. And then I'm just going to get ready to finish it off, and that's just cutting it off. Cutting it off with a skew. And that's that. Then I'll sand it up. I'll just sand all that up. And I'll sand it up through 220, and then we'll throw some tung oil on it and be done.
All right then. Well, that's my experiment with fractal, the Littenberg fractal burner. I think it's cool, or at least it looks cool while you're doing it. It leaves really fine, detailed burn marks. But this was an experiment on how to use it. I've got my system about a month and a half, 6-8 weeks ago, I guess, and I've just been kind of playing with it. And this is the first bowl I've tried to do with it. And I think it looks pretty good on the inside and all that. And on the outside, it burnt very, very slowly on the outside. And that didn't leave quite the fine detail that I was wanting. It looks more like just burns. But anyway, on the inside, and I'll show you some better pictures a little bit later, or at the end of the video, it's got a lot more finer lines on the inside, and but the thing was, the electricity was moving faster across the wood there. So anyway, good experiment, and if y'all want to know how to do that, there's lots of videos on this subject on YouTube, right down to making your system, getting operational, the safety stuff involved with it, because this can be really dangerous. If power goes from one arm to the other, it can actually kill you from these transformers. But several different kinds of transformers you can use. I have a neon transformer, which doesn't have quite the power that a microwave transformer does. But a microwave transformer would probably move a lot faster across this piece. So anyway, just just another tool in the box. If you're doing a bowl or a vase or whatever, if you think it's just another option that you could do to, you know, decorate your bowl or whatever project you're working on. But anyway, that's that, and I'm gonna take this in the house. Oh yeah, I've got I only put 2 coats of tung oil on this. That's all I did. I didn't want to get any glossy. It almost got glossy on me anyway. But that way, when people look at it, they can kind of see the burns and all of that in it. So, just 2 coats of tung oil is all I put on this. I didn't use any wax or anything. Also, this thing burns really deep. I don't know if you can see the holes, but it burned all the way through in several places. I like that. I think it looks pretty good. But anyway, y'all have a good day, and I'll see you on down the road.